Hello. Let me set something real quick to make sure this works. Welcome, everybody. Just gonna do this. Excuse me. I am still very much recovering from the sickness. I'm fine. I'm just at the stage where I'm just get the lingering stuff. Huh. It should be set properly, but it's not. All right. Welcome, everybody. My name is Paul Berserker01, Batman Shelley, your humble host and space bartender here at the Astropub, your space bar at the end of the universe. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We got a good one for you. How y'all doing? So we've got a hot button topic, PvP versus PvE in Star Citizen for this captain's table. With Australia, because nobody's there. Continuing our run through with ArcCorp. You were down with the sickness? Yes. You're not the first person to make that joke. I'm sure the comments will be nothing but productive in discussions. Hey, you know what? I'm not against farming rage. I think we'll have a really good discussion in general about it. Because, like, people who've watched me regularly know that I don't shy away from PvP. I just don't seek it out typically. Because I honestly do think that the main problem that CIG has with PvP versus PvE is simply they don't know how to balance it properly. They understand how to make them, but they don't know how to like make the general idea. But they don't know how to make the specifics of it. They need to be able to have some sort of transition zone or some hard cutoff of this is PvP, this is PvE. At least the, well, no, they're still kneeling. Most of them aren't, though, yet, so that's a good start.
Any of our associates will help or rental opportunity.
They definitely want to increase this so it's not like 17 people in the largest city on ArcCorp, but, you know. I get why they don't do that, because it's just expensive. I get into PvP because I put myself in those situations, but most of the time I'm focused on the objective, not the bloodless engaging players. Has CIG ever been good at balancing? No. I'm gonna take this is a hot take, and I'm sure a lot of people take this the wrong way, but no one is good at balancing in the gaming community. The companies then the people who have been good at balancing are so rare that they usually fuck it up after only one or two attempts. You can try, Wolf, but the problem is that the bot doesn't work unless both channels are active, so it won't pick anything up. ANF.
City-flight tram and the official transportation service provider, the Arcot Metropolitan Network.
Oh yeah, so the Discord found that there was somebody who, so they finally found somebody who wrote a Star Citizen fan fiction. They mislabeled the fan fiction as Star Citizen, Cititzen, and they had random capitalizations and bold titles in the story. So it's probably ChatGPT. Fan fiction written by ChatGPT, but you know, hey, there's actually some of it. Yeah, go ahead and ping me in Discord with it. I'll try to add it to the list. It's kind of hard to tell. A lot of examples of good balancing seem to be asymmetrical game design, which gets thrown out the window when you have 200 plus. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like good balance requires limited gameplay, and you can't do that when when your entire monetization and staying open requires you to build more ships. It's impossible to balance all that number of ships. And of course, the game's still in development. Every new fighter combat ship makes the old ones need rebalancing, especially those who've been sitting and waiting for lists on the waiting list for a long time. Which is one of the reasons why I'm a little surprised they still do combat ships so frequently, simply because they also have absolutely zero diversity in mining and in salvage. And yeah, I know they don't have data running, they don't have smuggling, they don't have even bounty hunting really in. So there's just not a lot of those ships. So, you know, I'm not saying that, but like they have a salvage mechanic, they have a mining mechanic, but they only have, let's see, with mining they have 3 functional ships, and they have, for salvage, they have 3 functional ships. So each, those, and they only had 2, each of those mechanics had 2 before this year. They introduced 1 new ship for salvage and 1 new ship for mining. It's like, and they sell. Like, I know the Misfortune didn't get the Fortune didn't get a lot of sales, but I know the Golem sold like crazy.
Vehicle selected. Stand by.
Please be aware that while in the Stanton system and on Arcor, all
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location. Please visit us again.
From my own experience, it feels like most PvPers that comment on PvE are talking about questing and resource gathering exclusively, because that's all we have. And PvE players who talk about PvE are talking about the future of raids and are not talking about questing, etc. It's almost impossible to balance PvP versus PvE when raids don't exist yet. It is an early raid. The problem is it's not instanced. If it was instanced, it would be a lot more palatable, I think. I hope they find a way to rely on ship sale, less on ship sales. This constant escalation of capability seems like a trap. It is a trap. It's why I personally think Squadron is so important. Because if they can make Squadron work well, and then they have a constant influx of people who can purchase Squadron over the course of years. It won't completely reduce the ship sales, but like, it should at least reduce some of the bite. Balancing is hard, if not impossible, because 2 people can totally disagree on the importance of what is balance. What do you base balancing on? To quote CIG themselves, somebody who's literally in charge of balancing for CIG, vibes. That's what you base it off of. the vibes. Ships need to feel like they should exist in the universe they're in, and they should feel fine, but they shouldn't feel overbalanced. And that takes that's an art form. It's not a science.
Landing gear raised.
In my experience, in my perspective, the Vanguard should be a long-range, heavy-punching, slow-moving fighter craft. Then again, I'm not CIG. I would have actually set up some specific parameters that would make every ship a specific version of that ship, or specific role. Because I feel like you need to have those roles set in stone, and then you can hybrid those roles as you go through, but you need to have those roles set in stone. Light fighter, medium fighter, heavy fighter, gunship, multi-purpose ship, cargo ship, so on and so forth. And then inside of each of those, you have scout, interceptor, brawler, dogfighter, ground attack, ground support. And so you just have light fighter that's a ground attack fighter. You know what it does. And I do it by dimensions. They already have something set up there where they have, here's it. Yes, but it came out so early that the power creep has shoved that thing to the bottom of the ocean as far as heavy fighters go. It's the largest heavy fighter with a pretty meager weapons complement, even if the missile load isn't horrible. It needs to get its armor. And the problem about that is that it doesn't get armor.
Deployed.
It's not going to get armor because they don't have Maelstrom yet. Random spam call.
Landing gear raised.
Thanks, Dragonwolf. So this discussion is going to go on a lot of different things. One of the things I really want to touch on with PvE versus PvP is where can there be peace in the Middle East? Can East Side and West Side live together? You know, is there a way to find harmony between the two sides? Can they coexist in a game like Star Citizen?
Landing gear deployed.
Jamie's12 just resubscribed for 24 months. Yay, 2 years.
Thanks so much for that 2 years of support there, Jamie's. You're very important, proper, very impressive Pennsylvania pedestrian. You rock. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. Why didn't it? Okay, so I'm gonna go do one thing, chat. Hold on. Okay, I'm trying to figure this out while I have this here. And I'm gonna run some tests. Hold on. Okay.
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers. But you can never, ever take away my space game.
Wylone just resubscribed for 22 months.
Okay, so that worked. Hey, Alzilla. Spoilers, not really. It's complicated. I think there is. It's just gonna require CIG to set up some soft and hard boundaries. That's the thing that I think is going to require a little bit of change. Quick lore question. My favorite lore bartender. Is it the transitionalists, centralists, and the third was the transitionalists, specialists, and the universalists? Without sounding too political, it's the sense, the trans, and the unis.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieve. Your vehicle has been. Please visit us again.
And it goes, transitionalists are the left-leaning party, the universalists are the centrist party, and the centralists are the right-leaning party. And it's funny because I find a lot of people get confused by the politics. It's because the politics of the Star Citizen universe do not center on the same problems as the politics that we have today. A lot of the ideas of what we think of a politics don't really work in the Star Citizen universe, because the main focus of the Star Citizen politics in the Star Citizen universe is what is the role of government? Where should the government be, like, who should the government be servicing, and where should the government be held? So a lot of the ideas that we have in our modern idea of, like, you know, what's the role of government does definitely play a role, but in the universe of Star Citizen, it's much more narrower. All of the parties agree that the government's role is to shape the infrastructure and the protection, and to protect the people. That's it. So what they're debating on is the details.
What's going on with you? Gotta take things a day at a time, right?
I'm talking here. And the other thing is, like, what the government's role is. It depends on what you're looking at. The centralists, for instance, believe that both the government should have more power and it should be giving more power away to corporations. So the government should be in more control of, like, the social aspect of life. But when it comes to actual control of, like, who should be running day-to-day things, they want corporations to do so. They also want independent people, independent companies, independent planets to be dealing with themselves. But they want the social control of the UE. They want to ban aliens. They want to mandate stricter controls on rights, who has and hasn't rights, that kind of thing. So it's hard to map on one-to-one political realities, because the Star Citizen's political reality is just not the same as, and there are more extreme ideals that just don't exist in the UE, like the People's Alliance of Levski, but they just don't show up in standard politics. Literally, actually, at Zilla, like, there's a big fear that the Xi'an are coming in, and because they have better technology than the humans, they are coming in and destroying human companies with their own better products and their own better services. I gotta do a breakdown of like the politics of the Star Citizen universe. But if we put politics in a title of any video, it's going to get fucking destroyed. Yeah, the Huxa. They can, because they do literally in every other game. PvP versus PvE discussion isn't a bad in games like WoW, where gear is separated and raids are instanced. You only see it take the hard line with both aspects of the game are competing for the same gear, like what just happened in Dune. In my experience, in my opinion, instanced PvE makes PvE reward blueprint or industrial and military components, make PvP reward competition and stealth, and call it a day. It doesn't have to be that, but it's to separate them. But CIG doesn't want to do that. That's the thing. At the end of the day, CIG wants to hybrid PvP and PvE in some capacity. God damn it. Okay. I'll get a few moments. I'm gonna go spawn my ship.
Welcome to the ASOC Vehicle Retrieval System. Vehicle selected. Stand by.
I'll try to do a big one.
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following. Please visit.
I mean, this one in this case, I agree that CIG should be reinventing it, because every game has to have its own take on something, and that has always been the cornerstone of Star Citizen. Is it has to be sort of a open world, in the sense of you have a chance of encountering PvP pretty much anywhere. That's one of the things that drew me to Star Citizen. There are definite parallels between it and games like Rust and DayZ. The problem is that most people don't like Rust and DayZ. The people who don't like Rust and DayZ don't like it because of the realities of those open worlds, which is they turn into just kill on site simulators. They don't have to be, and there are ways to get around it. But it's going to take some work on CIG's part. But I do think that one of the big things that CIG is going to have to do is actually designate PvE and PvP as their own areas, which are instanced, in the sense of like they're limited in terms of where you can go, and in terms of how many people can be there, and they're specifically focused on something.
Hello, how can Miss help you today?
Yeah. Crusader and New Babbage have been having problems specifically. I think they recently did a patch to fix some of those, though, so. There's no magic bullet that I think you can go through, but I do think that one of the things that CIG is going to have to swallow is that they will have to have things that say, this is a PvE instance event, this is a PvP instance event, or whatever. So that, because they put far too much, well, they could not do that. They could do something different. But if they did that, they would, they'd have to really learn how to do that. I don't like doing that, but let's see. Let's see. I'll do the art hall. Let's see if it works. I guess not everyone is a murder hobo. No, but... And I think the vast majority of people aren't murder hobos who played Star Citizen. It's just when CIG incentivizes murder hoboism, people will gravitate towards it. All right, Iris. I mean, you've put up with a lot of shit, so... I understand wanting it being like reaching a limit. There is a middle way, I think, with Star Citizen with PvP versus PvE, but it requires a lot of finesse that I don't know if CIG has the ability to train their players to accept. You haven't done the beginning missions yet, Iris? What I've discovered is if you want to do the beginning missions, go to an Asian server. Oh, forgot to hit 5. I gotta start doing manual stuff because I don't have the old bot. The old bot is dead, by the way. I have to set up the new bot, but then I have to, so I have to find a new thing for the new bot. Is that a cloud layer? Cloud layer. I'm solo right now. I did group stuff last night. Well, the old bot was Streamlabs, and I'm done with Streamlabs. I've only been sticking around because of that nice like Discord bot integration, but I'm sure there's a way I can set a create a Discord bot which will say I'm going live without Streamlabs. You're not going to see it being locked to name servers where you're stuck to a shard where you can only put that character there. That's not going to happen. Just because that would piss off a lot of players who got Star Citizen under the promise that they could sort of play with their friends even if their friends are across the planet. Oh look, Hurston Dynamics folks are here. Surprise, surprise.
Landing gear down.
Did I hit something? I hit another freelancer. Alright, I'll try to make some space for you, buddy. Gotta back up a little bit more. I actually landed. I am pretty good. No, I'm gonna line up on the sides. The true king of this event is going to be the raft, though. People who have the raft are fucking... Like that dude right there. Look how tiny that raft is compared to me. And it holds, like, almost as much. It holds more than enough you need. The highest, the largest amount of cargo you can load is 190. That thing holds like 195, so. Are the Raft's elevators broken? Sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. I will say this, and this is going to sound weird. Knock on wood. I have not yet had a problem with any of these outposts not functioning. I know they don't always work, but... Yes, I did just drink myself. To be fair, the missions have also been kind of weird on this server. There we go. It just ate my stuff, yeah. But at least it went up and down. I'm sure if I fucked with it a little bit, it ended up coming back up, yeah.
Hey, did you just quit the job? Do you have any idea how much extra work you just made for me? Whatever, I've wasted enough time dealing with you.
Well, fucking get your shit to work, fucking L. Stupid bitch. They did a great job with L, by the way, with all of the givers. I've only dealt with L, but she has got such personality of being the most corporate whore I have ever heard. She's like very hello fellow kids enthusiastic, but at the same time like super not interested in doing her job. Combat missions working yet? They were sort of working when Logan and I were playing it yesterday. I can fix her. You know, it's funny. Person is gonna win. For sure. There's no way we're catching that. Well, we might. We'll see. Like Microtech might. But I have never heard anybody who's actively said, yeah, I'm doing Hurston. Oh, it doesn't still say that? I'll change it. I thought I changed it already. I mean, to be fair, I kind of want Hurston to win only because Hurston has a lot of ships which you'll get discounts for. Because New Deal is part of that deal. ArcCorp would be better because there's just more shit at ArcCorp for that, but I struggle playing this game because I have so much PTSD from bugs, then don't play the game. Wait until the game's more stable. The game's not going anywhere. That's true. It does have Astra Armada, Dumpers Depot, and Center Mass, so it would be logically the more, because it also has a ship store, and it has better equipment, and it has clothing, and it has like ship equipment, and it has ship weapons, and it has personal armor and weapons. It would logically be the one you want to win because it has the most stuff. But also, I think, as Iris said, it was working, so people went to the working ones. There, I just spent 1/10 of the purchase price for a raft to rent it for 7 days. Not bad. You'll earn that back in a couple of missions. Especially if you run solo. If you run a solo raft with the large ones, if you can get them to work, you earn 100K per run solo. And you can do raft solo stuff here. But Orson has Cousin Crows and Crusader. I don't think Cousin Crows is as important. And the Crusader ships are there, but you know. All these dead ships. This is a really stupid one.
Landing gear down.
All right, let's see if I can park this properly. I'll help this dude out. Yeah, park it like this. Too many people have parked random shit everywhere. That power's off. No. What they needed to do is make sure that these events didn't spawn in, like especially like these large ship events. There's only one pad for these large ship events, and it's like, okay, well you're gonna have everyone on the server try to do these events, so you need to make sure that they're accessible by the large ships. Oh, is this broken? Oh, fuck. Yeah, it's broken, dude. Get out. Dude done? Dude is done. I'm gonna go land this bad boy over here then. Why is there a tonk here? Tonk's there to clear the pad. There's also a raft that's upside down next to it. Yeah, these should have been at distro centers rather than the other place, because the distro centers actually have, you know, volume. There's no way I can land. Nope, I'm gonna have to do it this way.
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers. But you can never, ever take away my space game.
Gonzo 209X just resubscribed for 86 months. Where's my space wheelchair?
Thank you
I
so
was promised a space wheelchair.
Thank you so much for that. I landed properly. Yes. There we go. Thank you so much for that 86 months of support there, Gonzo. You're very important, proper, very impressive, Mr. Very pedestrian. You rock. Shots and cheers in chat, y'all. Shots and cheers. All right. Now I'm gonna help this raft move his shit. Oh, he's already leaving. Okay. And I'm gonna reorient. I'm guessing it's busted. That's why no one's going here, because this one's not working. But we'll try.
Them biddies.
Here's them biddies. Perfect timing to make me sure that I can't land and scare the shit out of the smaller folks. Damn it. Too fast. Well, you need a Garmin Humble video. Now we've had Molly, we need Garmin Humble back. Yeah, for the missions not working. This is the reason why we had that 4 gigabyte update. CRD. Paul, question. Who's in charge of missions like this? What do you mean? Like in terms of CIG? It would be the mission team. it's broken. All right, time to switch servers. Yeah, Elliot and his team, as well as the narrative team, all the folks we saw on the ISC were the ones who were in charge of it. That's good, Jakiro. I'm gonna go buy our Braft. They're not that expensive in game. And I'm gonna swap servers to an Asian server and hopefully get one mission in. You can do them with other people. You just don't, you split the rewards. So if you deliver like 100 units, 190, like this is like 190 something SCU. If you have 2 people helping you, you split it 3 ways. So it's like 196 divided by 3. You don't just, it's not just the money reward, but also the SCU as well. Some of them are. This one wasn't. When I just went to wasn't. It's a roulette, as it always is with Star Citizen. Yeah, the first mission you have to do solo. That's it. But all the other missions you can share. You can see event ramp by going into your journal, and you'll see Second Life Resource Drive right here. And so you can see right here, I'm at a little over 311, 312 exactly. SCU is what I've moved so far. To get the maximum, I need 2,826. The maximum largest numbers of stuff you can do. The largest amount of stuff you can move is about like 196 per run. Yeah, see, I'm just probably not going to do that. I know, I agree. I'd probably do that too, and just say people get to keep their rewards, but the line go up. We'll just get reset because of all the fucked up shit, and it's not actually set up properly. But this is the problem with running an event with a mechanic which they knew was broken and has been broken for a year, and they have not set about to change or fix those issues in a year, and they're only now saying, oh, we should probably see if we can fix this. It's like, you think? It has been one of the biggest problems that people have complained about for a year. It's like right behind the elevator themselves killing people. Yeah, but it's not going to give a lot of people an interest into investing time into an event if the elevators themselves are so broken that you can't actually do them. There are other things you can do, because the elevators in, like, say, the stations are fine, but those ones are a little bit more combat focused. It feels like this is mostly just a go mine event rather than a trade event. I'm gonna go rent a raft. I think you can rent a raft at the station, but we'll see. They should have used the distribution centers. They're a lot more reliable than the than the other locations are, but they didn't.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Let it store, then it'll swap servers. Enjoy that. There's a super kike. Go enjoy touching grass. Try Asia.
Them biddies.
Hey Paul, what if we rushed out a patch to sell a midship that punches above its weight class for too much money, that also has an event that has permanent effects on the game and is based on a malfunctioning and easily sabotaged mechanic that we then implemented so shoddily, the existing systems that were working stopped working? Also, what if we failed to learn a single thing from previous events and set up the mission system in the most brain-dead way possible?
Them biddies.
That isn't just the best way, it's the SIG way.
Yeah, I know. It's frustrating to see CIG do this and be like, I know somebody at CIG said, hey, this isn't working. But I also know what the answer was. The reason why they did it was because they have literally nothing else. And they're afraid if they do nothing, A, they're not going to get enough engagement to get people to play. And B, they won't learn how to make missions better in the future. Just give it a moment, Dark Spike. That can happen sometimes, but I've always had it recover at the very end. the idea behind the event isn't a bad one. The problem is that they didn't do any significant work on the systems that were broken. That they clearly need to do another huge dive like they're doing with the transit system. They need to rewrite the entirety of the code for, or not maybe entire code rewrite, but they definitely need to look into how the cargo elevators function and fix them in some fundamental ways. There's some problems with it. They need that 6 to 9 months to fix that. And they don't have that time. So they're just doing it anyways. Okay, I'm gonna go get see if they actually have the mission. They don't even have the, oh, they do. Yeah, the combat missions aren't spawning right now. Yeah, you learn more from failure than success. That is true. But CIG continues to do their damnedest to kill their momentum in the summer. Well, I mean, the problem is they have to learn from their mistakes. They don't learn from their mistakes. They just bull forward. Wait, I gotta change the bar. There we go. I'm actually looking at the screen. It's gonna be reversed on the other side, but that's fine. And the mole. Mole, 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 mole. It's 1 million? Damn it, I did a mold on a raft, didn't I? Oh, that's an idiot. I'm an idiot. Oh, well. Do they even have a raft? They don't have a raft, do they? Well, I just spent 6,000 out of nowhere. It's all right. That's fine. That's another problem that CIG has. I have 7 million credits. I have no reason to spend any of it. Raft set new deal? Ah, okay. Not gonna bother with it then. I'll just go buy one. I'll spend today to go buy one because nothing seems to be working properly.
To the ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
Yeah, well, I'll try. I'll try one more, and if it doesn't work, then I'll.
Stand by. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
Large hangar. It's only 3.5 million in game. It's not too bad. Of course, it's doing this.
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval system. Your vehicle has been moved to us to please.
Yeah, the Star Citizen is telling me to not play it today, so I'm gonna go buy a raft and call it a day. And boom. Here it goes.
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
We'll see if CIG can get this deal dealt with in the next
Your insurance claim has been sent.
Go for a faster ship here. I haven't flown the meteor yet. Let's do the meteor, just because I have it.
Vehicles, your vehicle, please vehicles again. Goodbye.
And we'll go to Lorville and, New Deal's in Lorville, right? Generally speaking, don't play Star Citizen on the weekends. If you play Star Citizen on the weekends, it's when everyone plays, and so that's when the servers don't work. I'm literally Bajini. And I literally was doing an ArcCorp mission and it didn't work. It's the entrance right here, right? On here, there it is. Yeah, that's the problem, is that for Star Citizen, the weekend is not for gaming. The weekend is when everyone plays it, and thus the game breaks. So you wait until next weekend when everyone gets frustrated with the game breaking, so they stop playing the game, and so then next weekend when everyone is quit after trying to, the game goes down to a more moderate population where you can try again. Especially launch weekend. Ow. This thing's nippy. No one, I'm going to say this, and this is the most loving way possible, as the person who really likes the idea of your actions having consequences in Star Citizen. No one plays Star Citizen no one who plays Star Citizen for the event gives a fuck about the long-term consequences of this event. What they care about is getting their ship skins and their free gear. Because CIG hasn't really emphasized that you know, showing the consequences of making decisions long term, because CIG hasn't built that into players yet. I have 3 contracts that are offered. So there's definitely some issue with the contracts in the back end. I haven't, since I've logged in today, I haven't seen a single combat one offered. And then people will learn that working with the Scum Lords has consequences. Eventually they will. Maybe, if CIG wants them to. But CIG has talked a big talk, but actually hasn't walked the walk, so. Hey there, Q-Man. Do you think long-term New Deal will have as much variety as it does now consistently? No, probably not. They do. You're right. I agree with you, Jakaro. They need to add, if they're naming the if they're giving control of the jump point station to Hurston, they need to make Hurston charge for jump points leaving Stanton, and also for docking fees. I don't know how to mine, so. Yeah, the VHRTs do. Also, if you do the Headhunters ambush missions, you ambush targets. Those targets have corundum and copper and other things on them too. So if you do the mercenary ambush missions, you should get those as well. I'm just gonna get a raft because I've been meaning to get a raft anyways. Paul, being that you're going for basic resources, the mining is pretty easy. New player easy, actually. You don't even need consumables. Well, I know that, but I don't have a mining ship. I haven't learned how to mine. I don't know, like, anything like that. Oh yeah, now I've got a mole for 3 days. But I need other people. If y'all want to do mining for this event because we canceled that event last time. We want to do mining for this for tomorrow. I'm down with that too. I don't know what the plan was. Let me make sure. I hate this cloud cover. See shit with this cloud cover. Yeah. Permanent rain over Lorville. The only problem about mining is you have to refine it, and that's going to take some time. We'll have to figure that out. We'll have to like split up the stuff. We'll also have to split it up. Oh, I guess you can share the resource mission, can't you? I think it's very nippy. Yeah, that's the problem. You can't penalize team play if you want people to actually go in teams. Otherwise, people just go solo. But you also don't want to make it so that you can just group together and have everyone do missions solo while grouped up and then get credit for it no matter what.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your vehicle has been moved to our store. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
You make it proximity. You have to be in a group, and that group has to be close together within a certain distance in order for you to get credit for it. But you can get credit for all of it. So like if someone is turning in the rewards in a when you do the turn in, when you do the completion, you have to be within, you know, 300 kilometers of the target of the completion. Jesus fucking Christ.
Hurston Dynamics needs your assistance. The Empire has put out the call for resources, and Hurston intends to answer. Consult your mobile glass to see how you can help secure all of our futures in the pursuit of a solution for the regen crisis.
Damn, I love the fact they've really worked on Lorville a lot, haven't they? Oh, it's in the spaceport, you're right. I'm so used to ArcCorp's one.
Hey there.
Ooh. Oh, physical turn in to be paid. You get a digital voucher. You can turn to whatever. But you have to go to a location, turning yours in by yourself. All right, I got 7.2. 2 mil. We're going to go with Argo. With the raft. Purchase one of those. Why does it say what? Why does it still say I have 7.2 mil? No, I'm buying it. I know you can rent it. I'm buying it because I want to have it for because I'm a trader and I like that sort of thing in the first place. Let's see, what do they have for mining? It'd be under this. Well, they have Drake, right? Get a risk. It's 2.9 million is not bad. I'll rent it if I need to. The rental is where? Oh, it's in here. Forgot. It's on this side. Is that out yet? Okay. Rental. $73K, not bad. For 7 days, it's 300,000. That's not bad at all.
Hurston Dynamics needs your assistance. The Empire has put out the call for resources, and Hurston intends to answer. Consult your mobile glass to see how you can help secure all of our futures in the pursuit of a solution for the regen crisis.
I'll rent it for 7 days and then see what I can do. Did I actually purchase that mule? Or or did it not go through?
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
It didn't go through, I don't think. I'll go buy it. Because I don't think it took my money. There it goes. Fine, I actually took it. No, I don't think it did. No, didn't take it. It's not letting me purchase anything through... Okay. Well, it's not letting me buy the fucking thing. Maybe because everyone purchased it. Hey, boss, how's it going? Star Citizen is saying no today. So, I've played for about an hour and a half and got 0 done. Because the game has effectively said either the mission isn't working, the elevators aren't bringing stuff up properly, or they just aren't working at all. So, right now, effectively, don't play Star Citizen. This would be my suggestion if you're looking to play the game this weekend, because it is bad. It needs another 2 patches before you can do it. Yep, as I always say, some days you play Star Citizen, some days Star Citizen plays you. What is it, a 7-day rental for this? Oh, this is just straight up broken right now. Okay, well, I'm gonna try to relog and see if we do that. Yeah, wait for next weekend. Go with just USA. As always, Star Citizen is random. Was watching Blue Sparks play and he barely had a single bug all day long. I had no problems yesterday. I had some combats were bugged, not all of them, but like no issues yesterday. And then the day before that, I had no issues. Today is the first day that I had issues. I had great. I've gotten to tier 2 already with ArcCorp, so like I've done it fine. Just saw 2 Icties having a gunfight. Mech fight. Yeah, and I've seen people with like, Gin and Tonic was on here earlier saying he spent all day, and he just managed to get the intro mission done. After going like basically 8 hours, managed to get only the intro mission done. And had to do it like, and actually completed at least twice before it actually caught it forward. That's what I mean, Escape. It's like, Escape. The functional problem is that the fucking cargo elevators are broken. There is some fundamental problems with it that they just sort of got it limping to work for what they needed to, and they never fixed it. They need to go back through and do another hard 9 months, hard look. Everyone focus on this fucking thing to get it functioning. It's not sexy. It's not going to get a lot of awards. It's not a lot of people going to play the game because of it. But you get that and the elevators that bring up and down ships. You get those things to fucking work you're going to solve a lot of problems that people have with this game. Yeah, Freight Elevator Creator doesn't work for CIG anymore, so someone's going to probably have to recode that from scratch, and nobody wants to do that. Yeah, Chad left. That's because, to be fair, I'm sure it was one of those things where Chad had the option to move to Austin or, or another studio or stay at CIG, and he didn't want to leave LA. So. Question? You lost it? Okay. As long as they're paying his rent, man. You know, it's any port in a storm sometimes. Not for me. They're still not there at all. And Blizzard sucks ass, but, you know. Why am I? Fuck off. Just fucking... These motherfuckers just, like, camping? They're both sitting, staring straight down. This is some American behavior. Sorry, buddy. It's not letting me fucking take it. Go ahead. What the fuck, CIG? I can't even buy ships in the goddamn game? I mean, that's the problem, is I've checked ASOP before. Look, it didn't take my money at all. Nah, cargo elevators aren't to haulers what master modes were for combat pilots. Combat pilots hated master modes on a fundamental level. Cargo freight elevators are basically elevators. The same problem as elevators. They're fundamental across everyone's experience because everyone has to use them at some point, and only about half of them work. See? Bowl, MPUV, MPUV. That's it. It does have my MISC prospector. It's registering rentals, it's not registering purchases. Yeah, so I think it's because everyone's buying them because they're so valuable for this event that they basically broke. Try one more time. No, not really close to the, like I said, they're like elevators. Like the regular elevators. What? Final balance? What the fuck? Okay, finally went through, I think. Okay. Yes. All right. I'm going to take the last run by taking this raft all the way back to ArcCorp. It wasn't a server delay. It happened right after I hit yes. It just wasn't working for whatever reason earlier. Oop, no, I gotta actually put something up, don't I? Because if it was a server delay, I would be, you know, I'd have 2 of them.
Welcome to the
I only have 1.
vehicle retrieval system. Vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle has been delivered. Please visit.
Actually, I don't think I could have purchased 2 of them. I could only purchase 1. Yeah. I said that I wasn't having any problems, and then after I said I wasn't having any problems, even though I knocked on wood, everything broke. But the weirdest thing is that they basically had none of the combat missions have been populating. Here, right? Yeah, so like the problem is that freight elevators are like the transit system, the mission system, the ship elevators, and the elevators themselves. They're fundamental parts of the game. And when they don't fucking work, people complain about them. And people have been complaining about them for literally a year, since it's been around for about a year. For a year, yet CIG doesn't seem to understand that they needed to work on it. I get that they needed to work on the transit system. That was a fundamental issue that affects everybody more profoundly. But my God, to do something like this without any like deep foundational look at what's wrong with the elevators is sort of insane. Bugs are getting fixed. That's not the issue. The issue with Star Citizen has been and will always be, especially right now, that they need to focus on fundamental problems that the game has in terms of people's enjoyment of the game. And they have been. But because for whatever fucking reason, CIG has decided that they're just going to only look at the transit system and the mission system, and that's it. Have those things improved? Yes. The new Argo HUD is confusing.
Landing gear up.
No, they're not. They're different. Oh yeah, the elevators are, but the freight elevators aren't. As I said, the major things that CIG had this year, which were problems, and I think I said at least some of these before, was the performance, which they've improved, the mission system, which they've improved, the transit system, which they've improved, but they're doing a full remake of the transit system right now, and then the ship elevators and the freight elevators. The ship elevators and the freight elevators have been completely under the radar. They have gone fucking radio silent on those issues. Yet they've added more content, which requires use of both of those more frequently. What happened to the transport refactor? It's still being worked on. That would have taken them 9 months, and if they started it in January, we won't see it until September. Well, yeah, of course they're not under the radar now, because CIG has front-loaded so much shit onto them, it's broken. It's due to griefers. It's their fucking code. The problem is that this is gonna sound very elitist. It's not meant to be. But no one fucking listens to haulers. We don't get fucking shit. Nobody pays attention to us because all we want to do is move boxes. So we find ways around CIG's broken systems. What we should have been doing is doing what the PvPers and combat players do, which is just turn Spectrum into a sewer tank of why you've broken half of our fucking missions to actually get attention. But apparently, because that's the only way it gets done. No one gives a fuck about us. Our missions are simple. They're not that complicated. It's their planning and code. They had to know freight elevators and tech had tech/griefing issues. They should have never planned and pinned an entire event on the system they knew that wasn't fixed yet. Or they should have set those missions to, instead of being on fucking planets, to being on stations. We know, I can tell you right now, as a hauler who has done this a lot, there are two types of freight elevators that work 90% of the time. Freight elevators on space stations and freight elevators in landing zones. There's a third type, but those are tiny ones, which are the freight elevators in Pyro and the freight elevators in the salvage centers. Those work as well. It's the ones that work that are on the, and also the ones in the distribution centers work. It's the ones that are in the outposts that never work. They always break. We've never used them. And what's the main missions do? They run on these fucking outposts. And the distro centers, like, they just made them. These would be perfect for those, but I can tell you this. You know why all this stuff is broken? You know who's in charge of a lot of this stuff? Like freight elevators and in industry in general? You know how many people they have on the industry team for that? Take a guess. One. They have one person on that team. Elliot's not even on that team. There's a single person on the industry team. So the reason why freight elevators are not working is because there's one person working on it. Elliot can only work with what he's given. But someone should have told Elliot to put it in a fucking distribution center instead of these fucking, like, outposts. Because the distribution centers actually work. Can't blame Elliot, his teeth are too perfect. I know they want to get outposts working, and they were working earlier on, but they always happen like that, where outposts work early on in the patch, and then they break, and then they consistently spiral death. The elevators at Hathor are the same elevators that are on the that are in the outposts. It's the same style.
You can take away my spaceship. You can take away my space suit. You can even take away my space lasers.
No pew-pews.
But you can never,
Never,
ever,
ever
take away my space game.
Astro Chronicles just resubscribed for 7 months.
Thank you so much for that 7 months of support there, Astro Chronicles. You're very important, Papa, very impressive, very pedestrian. This is your fault. User and drinking night. Shots and cheers and chat. No shots and cheers. Well, I don't know if I assume that freight elevators fall under the world of the industry gameplay stuff. Because the only other answer is that if freight elevators are under, say, like some other team that deals with like just general gameplay stuff, like Core Tech or something like that, then they're focused on other things. So they just don't have the focus on this. Let's go to Bajini. Nothing's really spawning anyways, so I'll try and we'll do some stuff on tomorrow during the lore event. Yeah. Well, the answer is that they don't have enough resources, meaning they don't have enough people who know how to fix the problem, to fix all of the problems they have right now. Elevators came with a hauling update, which was last August. So they've been in for a year. Scrap freight yard elevators work. I have never had a problem with the scrap freight yard elevators. Their problem is that they're tiny. They only accept 8 SCU containers. And you can't do more than like 32 at a time, but like 16 and 16. They have 1,200 people, that's BS. They don't have 1,200 people who are specifically trained to do one thing, though. That 1,200 people includes QA, artists, animators, level designers, modelers, a variety of different disciplines. That's fucked up. Even for you, Iris. There's the old saying: if you're mad at a game having bugs, don't blame QA. QA probably fucking found the bugs. Okay. Funcom has 450 employees with all those disciplines. Yeah. And Funcom isn't making Star Citizen. The bot doesn't exist. Yeah. Bot's dead. It is forever dead.
Landing gear down.
That's also the thing. There may not be enough QA to focus on it. It's also a matter of, like, you don't want to hire 1,700 people to do one thing more. Fuck! I said backwards! Fuck.
Landing gear up.
What? That was landing gear down. What the shit?
Landing gear down.
There we go. It's not. It wasn't meant as a dog pile on you, Iris. It was just more of a like, this is an issue that CIG has that they can solve, but it's a matter of resource allocation that they're not doing well. Quite frankly. I'm just saying they have a lot of resources. It's hard to understand why they keep failing. I want CIG to be successful. Broken patch after broken patch, it's certainly frustrating. Then take a break. That's not meant to be like a mean thing. It's just like the patches are always going to have some issues, but not every patch has been so broken you can't play it. Last patch wasn't too bad. The problem is that with this specifically is that it's load bearing on the freight elevator system, which fundamentally we have known as a community, which we hope that means CIG knows, that has been broken. It has been broken for a year. When hauling first came out, the intro missions for hauling were busted. Because they relied on hauling between outposts and other locations. So what did CIG do? They did their CIG fix. They removed the requirement for intro missions to be at outposts. They put them at landing zones, and that fixed the problem. But outposts are still broken. They have been broken for a year. And then they do their big, we're going to change the entirety of the verse mission, like event, limited time event, and they put the load bearing for all of the hauling missions on freight elevators at fucking outposts, and now they're surprised that they're breaking? What the fuck did you think was going to happen? Yeah, like this is no problem. I don't think I have anything here, so I can't really do anything, but...
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
They need to get a couple people that play regularly outside of CIG to tell them if there are practical reasons why their great concept is a bad idea. I mean, people have floated the idea of some sort of citizens council where they just get people from who play the game who are not Star CIG employees under NDA, and then have every new event just once it's done, pitch to that council so they can tell them why they're wrong. CIG doesn't have to listen to them, but at the very least there'd be a position that isn't so close to CIG that they can't remove themselves from the process of how games that CIG makes. No, the avocados don't work because the avocados they don't tell the avocados these things. I mean, like, before the avocados even have a chance to test it, just pitch it. We do. That's what fucking Spectrum is fucking for. All they need to do is read them and check the in-game themselves. Lurch Lord, Spectrum is a toxic sludge pool. Most of Spectrum is absolutely pointless. There's no reason to listen to most of those people in it. And so that's the problem. When you have a bunch of people who are screeching constantly, that's not going to give you good feedback. What I mean is, like, for instance, if they had, during the planning phase, consulted somebody outside of the company who plays the game to say, here is the plan, these are the locations you're going to go to. If I was there, I would say, outpost missions are broken. Outpost elevators don't fucking work. Don't put them on outposts. Put them at stations or at distribution centers where those things actually function. You wouldn't have nearly as much problems if those were the main focuses. You still have problems with, like, the combat stuff, but that's stuff that they know to fix. Yeah. Lagrange point stations work. They're constantly screeching for a reason, though. Yes, Spectrum is a cesspit, but it's a cesspit for a reason. The cesspit for a reason is game not done, game broken. Why not fix game? Where ship? That doesn't help you with fix mission. How does this mission function? Yeah, if they had shipments coming from Lagrange refining station shipments, the biggest problem you'd have had with the mining stations is you'd have to wait for, you'd have a large influx of people going to and from, so you'd have a large wait points, so people would have to wait to like land and then unload and then leave. That would be the biggest choke point. But if you did that combined with distribution centers, which distribution centers have, like, what, 8 landing pads plus an actual landing? I don't think they need player feedback with early stages that most games get made just fine without being seen by players before launch. What they need is designers with experience in multiplayer and MMO game design. They keep designing single player and co-op situations for an open PvP environment. I don't think that's necessarily the case, especially with this. This would have not been solved by MMO designers. This is a problem with a current iteration of the game that they have not worked around. They are working. They stumbled on a landmine and thought that it was going to be fine. Distributed 2 XL hangars and 11 elevators. Yeah, there we go. Well, yeah, because there's 2 XL hangars you can land at. Plus the outside. A lot of people don't know on the outside of those hangars, there's these little like landing pads which can hold up to like a large ship, and next to those are all elevators. So you can actually land at any of those places, go to one of those elevators, and raise and lower stuff with elevators, and they work just like a space station does. Yeah, they have 11 elevators. 9 on the outside, or yeah, 11 on the outside and then 2 on the inside. Well, 4 on the inside technically. All right, I'm gonna go get set up here in a moment. I'm running late. This definitely is not. This is not gonna be a very productive captain's table. I'll say that. I've been seeing the cargo prowler steam cargo from elevators. What? So people can't finish the mission? Steam cargo? What the fuck are you talking about, Steve? Stealing. I haven't seen that, no. Well, I mean, we're gonna be talking about no, they're not. Devious werewolf. Now I'm offended. How you doing, Cepheus? Sorry, Star Citizen CIG's event's broken, so I haven't been able to get things working properly. All right. I'm gonna go get some water, and so my voice doesn't die halfway through this, and then I'm gonna get set up and we'll get started. For those of you who are watching on YouTube, when we move over to the captain's table, it will automatically drop you over to the captain's table. So make sure you stick there. Make sure I've got everything on the right side here. Should be fine. No, it won't. I have it set up like that. So if he doesn't, then go watch the Captain's Table live right now. It's the Captain's Table podcast. It's going to be in the live things right there. So go there right now if you don't think it's going to pop it over. YouTube is not perfect, but I have it set up right now where it should move you over. It has a redirect option. If you don't, it'll say at the very top of the chat, hey, we're moving over, go over there. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go get some water, and then when I come back, I'm gonna be doing setup, but I'm gonna stream from both, hopefully it'll work, from both to both the Astropub and the Captain's Table right now, and then I'll end the Captain's Table or the Astropub YouTube live stream, and it should pop you over there. All right.